And we're live. Another edition of the Johnny and Gene Show. I'm Felix Levine. To my right is our guest, Corey Sherrill. We got John Alite, of course, and Gene Borrello. Before we get into it, we just want to make sure and remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to subscribe to our bonus channel called at crimeflick.com. There you can, for a 1 week free trial and 50% off your first 3 months, subscribe and get all bonus exclusive content, all our full episodes early, right when they come out. So make sure you check that out. But today we're very excited. We got Corey in the building. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I had to be here, man. You know, and the thing is, I had this big thing. I'm like, you know, I'm about to meet the ex-mobsters. Like, I don't want to be late. I don't want to make them nervous.
And what happened?
I didn't want to, huh?
And what happened?
Well, you know, it's in my name. My name is Corey B for a reason. That's my comic name, Comic Corey B, COREYBE. It's a constant reminder for kids to be in the best version of themselves. And it's a reminder that Corey gonna be late. I was late. I was late, man. But we gonna forget about it. Forget about it.
We're gonna let this go.
Yeah, we're gonna let it go. Oh man, I don't know.
After the show.
Yeah, that's not in my. That's not in the dictionary right there for me, man. The monster dictionary. I don't know, man.
They got your plate already outside. We know what kind of car you're driving.
Yeah, I was already nervous coming through the hallway. I'm like, it was too clean. First of all,
shaky, right?
Yeah, it was just like a concrete, clean hallway. It was like real. I felt that peace. I'm like, why am I feeling that peace right now?
Did you step over the plastic?
Hey man, hey. I let him leave first.
So, Corey, we met through a mutual friend. You have an interesting story, and we'll let you get to it.
Well, I'm from Detroit, man, and that alone speaks a lot of volume. Like, you know, I'm an 80s baby. I'm 34, man, and just being in that epidemic where like crack hit hard, and like, you know, a lot of our parents in the city of Detroit was affected by like just the market itself. You know what I mean? And just going to prison young, man. I had to be like a grown man. Like I learned how to cook cocaine at 8 years old. So like just growing up in the 90s in the sense where, you know, you knew what was going on and you had to say like F the police. It was like no help. Like the only help was the streets. And so going away at 16 years old for 7 years, it changed my mind. Like, and that wasn't really the defining moment. The defining moment was like coming home and realizing like I could die, trying to fake like I'm not in the streets and being in the streets. And so I was trying to fake it till I made it, and now I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I decided to give myself that just put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? The thought be great, but you know the actions sometimes seem hard, man. When you're trying to like escape like friends and shit, people like think it's easy. It's not as easy.
When you're growing up in the street, all our neighborhoods, that's the problem. The neighborhoods captivate us and then entrap us because of all our friends are in the street. So it's hard not to be in that street, and that's really our message. You know that our message is to be successful as hard as it takes, and sometimes it's jail. Unfortunately, we're trying to stop some of these kids from going to jail, following our footsteps, jump over the part about going to jail and stay on the street and get to the part where you're at right now and what you're doing, and tell these guys what you're up to.
Well, just to give you kind of like a little backstory, I struggled with homelessness my entire life. Right. So my mother was a prostitute, drug addict. I didn't know my father. I didn't know my family. It was crazy. I remember at 9 years old, the principal at my school asked me did I know the months of the year. And I didn't even know January, February, March, April, May, June. So it's like all I knew really was like, you could tell that I was a good kid that wanted to have like, you know, it's like I wanted to have help from somebody, but I didn't know what to ask help for because it became a normal, you know, squatting in homes and living like that. And it really built me, man, to be extremely tough, to be able to blend with so many people because like all my life I've been appreciating every good moment. You know what I mean? So like in the streets was like the best thing for me, and I think that it's a good thing that the streets is a great thing for the youth that are inspiring to be something, but it's the thing that the streets is giving the youth. Like if it was more positive things, like I never really can imagine being a doctor because I never met one. But instead of going to the doctor, I never, you know, when you live in a life, man, where, you know, bus drivers and just common people, like every time you hear about work, it's like stressful. You know, it make you be like, dog, I want to be out here in the streets. I'm trying to get some money. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of us chase is the American dream. Right. So when I look at you guys, like a lot of us, like I heard something you said earlier on the show yesterday, you was speaking about like, you know, this is not about the kids. and about the I don't know if it was a boy or girl that got shot, but you was like, this ain't a color thing, and it's not. Like, when you come from the streets, you start to realize like your new best friend could be white, Chinese, because like it's all kind of plugs and all kind of different levels. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like a thing like, oh, I can't trust this Jamaican dude or I can't trust this Italian guy. It's about respect, keeping your word.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Icon connection. You know what I'm saying? Those real keys that keep you, out here. So I mean, I really like just utilize that shit, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something, and this ain't no bullshit because we're on camera. We got a lot of people. We're all over the street. You're over the street. We're on the street. We live there. Whatever, jails. But you got a real good vibe, and I don't like when people tell you, "Oh, the guy's got a good vibe," because you bring good energy. Because I think all the suffering you had. You lived on the street. You know what it is. And really, what you said, you look at somebody's eyes. You see the way somebody talks. You can tell if somebody's full of shit.
Oh, yeah,
you can tell if somebody's not.
Yeah.
And really, I got to tell you the truth. As soon as you walked in, we all started joking. We didn't have that, uptight. You got good energy, really. And that's some of the things that maybe you don't realize it. And we do these shows that some kid's gonna be watching this and they're gonna follow just what you're saying. They don't want to be that cab driver or this other person. They want to be you now. All the things that you did, and really, I got to tell you, it's unbelievable your life and how you took it to another level now. You should be proud of yourself, really, and I hope those kids.
Now you're a big comedian. I'm seeing you on up, huh?
Yeah. Well, my comedy career it was interesting. 3 years ago, right? I had I got robbed, and it just was one of the moments where like I felt death. I felt it. You know what I mean? Like I felt like it was that's a hell of a feeling when you like, man, it's a blessing I'm alive. Like, I don't know if people understand. It's different than the flu, being sick in the hospital. Like when someone attacks you,
right,
and their intent is to kill you or to do great bodily harm, and you make it through it. It's like it's something different.
Yeah.
I always dated up, and I was on a date with a lawyer, bro, hustling, like being in the streets. I'm on a date with a lawyer, right? And we at the strip club. I take her to the strip club. I'm like, want to go to the titty bar? She's like, yeah. I leave out, dude. Somebody hit me in the back of the head with a bottle. They stumping me, dude. And the dude pulled a gun out. And speaking of a cab driver rides by and he like puts his flash. He backs up. Then they show on camera how he like blinked his lights at them. They ran. And they was just like going on a robbery spree. And it's crazy. That moment, I was like, man, I was still living that hardship of going away at 16, getting out at 24. I didn't realize it. That I thought like being in the street selling a lot of weed and doing what I was doing, I thought that was happiness. And it was like, who am I? I didn't have no claim to this world, man. And it was crazy. Like to go back a little bit, I remember what led me to like really deciding to be an actor and to get into comedy was it was me auditioning for a radio, like how the radio station, and be like, oh, we come down to 105.9 and we got this going on. We're doing auditions, and I was getting far, but I had these insecurities. Like modeling, I didn't want to do it because I'm like, man, I ain't trying to be around guys that's into something that I ain't into. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like a,
that's how
always
the street comes in no matter what.
Like,
that's scary. I know.
It was just like it was a lot of different things I wasn't comfortable with or with acting.
Listen,
like,
I wasn't comfortable with Instagram because I'm like, I can't pose. Like, no, don't worry, it's all right. You got to go through that,
It's tough, and it's getting over the hurdle was me just saying I always wanted to go to school for drama. I always wanted to be like Richard Pryor. That's why I'm wearing the Richard Pryor shirt today, because he was my influence at night when I could avoid the crack smoke out there in the tribe where I was living in as a kid. Richard Pryor, watching him brought me joy. I looked at him like a make-believe father figure, like, and later on reading psychology books, that's a good therapeutic way to, if you lack like having that mother or that father figure in your life, to find somebody that you admire intangibles about them and you can place them in your head and be like, damn. And I start to just like want to tell jokes. And I always been funny. Like dudes will call me to the trap, like shooting dice, like, hey, let's call this nigga up. Like, excuse me, let's call this dude up. He's pretty funny. You know what I'm saying? And I would come through. I would tell a few jokes, man. And it would just be a thing of like guys would want the community to come around me to make them laugh and
right.
Bring me to the strip club, give me the mic and stuff like that. And I came here. And this is the concrete jungle. Detroit is wild.
Yeah.
I had to use some survival tactics to make it there. Like I kept a crackhead with me, stuff like that.
Right.
Like somebody got to get caught. You know what I'm saying? No, for real. And then crackheads they're strong. They're strong. You can't. Nobody can sneak up on you. A Doberman Pinscher, that's a good dog. But you keep Chuck around you. Ain't nobody gonna creep up on you. He like, bro, boss, I think the police coming, man. You know? He just saw everything. So like, this was more so my humor, like just like how I just made you guys laugh, like, you know, just laughing through the pain with my people got me to a point of wanting to be professional with it, dude. And coming here, I did good for my first year. I had a show in Queens. It was terrible. I almost quit.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You got to go through some bad times to know the
You were
good
nervous?
times.
You were nervous coming over here?
Nah, I like, you know, I said I stopped smoking weed when Snoop Dogg stopped, right? So I still like hit the joints. I'm like a joint smoker, man. And I was there with some with talented comedian. A lot of guys gave me chances in Harlem and stuff like to open up for them. And I remember getting there, and there was it was a comedian named Chicken Wing, and they were riding me like, oh, the young guy from Detroit, he think he about to be the man now in New York City. We gonna have to show him like you going up first. And I'm like, I'm ready to go first, but I didn't know when first was, right? And so he ride me and shit, man. And I'm like, man, all y'all old as hell, man. I'm like, you know, y'all went to school with George Carlin and stuff. Like, I'm just riding them back, you know what I'm saying? Then Chicken Wing said something to me, man. He said something about being like skinny or something. Called me slim or something, man. I don't like, you know, God, you've been called slim before?
Yes.
We don't really like that. No, we don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be known for like, hey, slim. You don't want to really, you know what I'm saying? You don't, you know, so.
You know he's skinny, right?
Yeah, he
I'm
said.
trying to get that now.
Yeah, I know, right? No, you look
It's the
great.
new look. Now it's like the kind of new look, right?
Yeah, it is the look.
Yeah.
And so he called me slim, dude. And I remember like feeling in some type of way. He just missing his arm. So what I did was I grabbed my drink and I was like, hey, hold my drink. And I dropped it. And I dropped the drink, like, hold my drink, I'm about to holler at some ladies. And the drink went all over his, like, it was water. It went all, and they were all dying. And they're like, hey, let's hit some weed, man. You funny, you can hang with us. And I hit the weed, I get on stage. I didn't remember nothing I was about to talk about.
Oh, man.
like seriously, man. And I stood there and I took it all because I was like, you know, when Jordan was the best, you know, Kobe was a great. You know what I'm saying? Look at you guys are great. But you took L's and you had to take that L on the chin. So I took that L on the chin, and I remember the next comedian talent got up there and he was like, man, RP to Detroit. I just thought he was gonna commit suicide because it was crazy. Like I woke the dude up in the back. I woke somebody up in there. Like it was that. He's like, I thought I'm in the comedy club. I'm like, dang, this was like a movie, a horrible movie, and it just made me to respect my craft and to like not, you know, to have fun, personal time on my time, but when I perform, to, you know, give everybody everything I got. And shit, man, I've been killing it, dude. I performed in Virginia, Detroit. Really, New York has just been my market. I'm at Broadway Comedy Club now. A person can come catch me there. That's on 51st Street. I featured in The Last OG, She Gotta Have It. The FBI show, I was an agent on there. And so I did all this not being signed to nobody or nothing. Right. Just having just strong ambition. And within like a year, I was like out of money. I was out of money, dude. In a year, New York City,
3,100
month rent. I thought they was gonna find.
And you'll get a bathroom for 3,100.
Bruh, that's why I live in Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey's where it's at. I got all the space now.
Yeah.
But I went broke, dude, and it was really it was a lot of favor and old cougars that kept me strong out here, man. They kept me strong, man. You know, it would only get awkward when they want to hold hands. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man. It's just being a people person, making people laugh, man. It really in mint management. They saw my talent, and they signed me to a deal to be able to like have a name behind myself to just still keep the energy. But just because I'm signed, don't mean like things are just gonna fall into my lap. Like I have a reality show. I can't mention the show, but it's dating based. That it's gonna be based around me. So I'm gonna be on that this year.
I heard about it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got that going on. And then I have something going on and talks with Revolt TV. I have that going on as well. So
that's owned by somebody.
P. Diddy.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah, Puff. If you watching this, look, man, we need to get them on the show too, Puff. Come on, Puff. You need some monsters on there, man. Come on, man. You even throw the shiny jackets on, man. This guy's ready right here, man. Look at this. Look at the shirts, man. The swag. You know. So yeah, man. And I don't want to like this. This podcast is real important to me because I actually admire you guys.
Yeah.
A lot of guys do the talking, but they don't do the walking.
Yeah.
Y'all walk this shit for real, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Been through hell and back, buddy.
I mean, but we gotta kind of like your story.
Yep.
You know, no different when you're from the street and you have a perspective to show kids that don't really know. You know, that we got an obligation, I think, when we change our lives a little bit to try to save some lives. And, you know, do our best job that we can do. You know, we might have did what we did to ourselves, but we gotta do something about helping those kids.
Oh, absolutely. So, they don't want to. You don't want to go to prison, man. Man, listen, man. My first day there in Detroit, we say D-boy. Yeah. That's just like D-boy. Right. It even makes sense. Like you can imagine Detroit, D-boy. So
right.
I ride in and I thought somebody said, I was already quiet, but I was like ready for whatever.
Right.
Because I knew it was gonna happen, and I didn't know it was gonna happen the first 10 seconds of me in there. I thought dude said did a D-boy ride in. He said did a boy ride in.
Wow.
And I said yeah. And so he coming to my cell, and my man, I'm like, dude, why my man's coming to my cell with all? You could just see him, man. I just see his shoulders with all this food in his hand, like.
Oh no.
I know, man.
Bandit.
Bro, he came with the bag, bro. Came with the care package for me, man. I'm 17, bro, and they sent me behind the wall.
Don't eat none of that stuff.
No, he can't. No, I didn't. Let me see this though.
They probably told, don't accept nothing. You don't want something in return.
You know a fight bad when you think the kick first. When you think the kick first, man. Hey, look, man. That was the happiest I ever felt to see the police. When they came, seriously, that 8 seconds, man, of that fight, dude. At one moment, I was like, damn, this is fucked up. I'm like, this is.
Yeah, you went in young, man.
Yeah, I went in young again, and
you got a little bit of resemblance to Hitman Hearns, you know.
Oh yeah, that's my guy.
He's from Detroit.
Yeah, that's my.
And I think his brother actually got life. I'm pretty sure.
Look, I'm actually was locked up with his brother.
Oh,
his brother was one of the dudes that actually was a big homie to me in there.
I heard he's a good dude. That's what I heard. Yeah,
really good guy, man. He helped me get my GED.
Yeah. I was a big Hearns fan, so I know a lot about him. I followed him a lot. I mean, he was fighting in a great division at the time when he was fighting.
Yeah.
With Lennon and Duran and those guys, man, they had some division. Benitez. So, he was, one of the best punchers around in his day. So. But I heard his brother was a good dude. I did hear that.
Yeah, he's real solid in there, man. I was 17, and I remember when I was in there, man, after I got in that fight, it was like, everyone found out I was the youngest dude in Jackson prison. Wow. Penitentiary. The youngest, only 17. The youth prisons, they cut down in 2003. So I went away in 2003. I got out in 2010. And it was just a thing, like, when I was in there, the Muslims was coming up to me, and it was like, I was like, well, I grew up Christian, and I'm gonna go to the church there. My first day in church, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Because, church in there, is we call it
sanctuary.
They're hiding in there.
Yeah, we call it the swine. The swine was in there, man.
Yeah.
I ain't want no swine. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, to each his own. Like, I believe that everyone should be able to reach God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just in there, I had to learn a different God. It's funny, like that, like the comfortability, man, of feeling like you're around a man. You don't really know who you're around, so the structure of Islam kind of came into my life. Yeah. And the guys, we became cool. They saw that I was too goofy to pay attention and be on posts like this. Yeah. I remember making like the minister laugh, because on posts, I was trying to make a face. I was like 18 trying to make a tough face. And he's like, listen, man, he's like, if you make that face, just look towards the wall. So they had me facing. I was the only brother in there facing towards the wall, man. They like, the kid is just goofy. You know what I'm saying? And my ears was really like, y'all can't see. They brought these specifically for me. Because the ears, these mugs kind of go out. I got butterfly ears. I hear that there's like a lot of character. I can hear everything. That's why they so big. But yeah, man, those guys really, they really helped me in there, man. And I remember being in there. Shout out to Kendall Bay. And a lot of guys, that's all the homies that taught me and to come out here. One of my homies, I remember him saying, like, dude, I was like, what can I do for you? He was like, man, cut my mother grass. And I cared about just being a real motherfucker.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what the streets, when you get redemption, that's why y'all doing this with me.
Yeah.
You don't need me. You don't need a lot of these people. Y'all could have came here and been selfish and just lived a self-preservation life after y'all, this glory y'all walking into. But y'all want to give it to the world. And I hope y'all appreciate this content that these brothers giving y'all, man. Because it's a lot of accountability.
Yeah, thanks.
Y'all making yourself accountable now, man.
Yeah.
And the cap, prison saved me. It saved me, man. Like I learned. I had a lot of funny experiences in there, man. I had to work like just of discipline, but in a big brother sense, because I think, you know, you guys were away, so you know how the younger guys is coming in. Y'all really want to push them out. Y'all really want them to learn. Like I think they always look at like, yeah, it's dangerous in there. You can get stuck in there, but the common thought between like the man that has hope of tomorrow and that's like, you know, letting these calendars go by and trying to make the best of it, you're gonna come together, man. And we have some good laughs in there and shit. Some good laughs and good experiences in there in the sense of trying to rise the thought. Because that's all we have is the thought. Yeah. I mean, that's all y'all have for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
And some pictures.
That's right.
Yeah.
To dream about being out again.
Little Debbie's. I know you could cook up.
Oh yeah, of course.
I was cold though, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? You learn to be the best chef in the world when you're in there. You got no choice.
Listen,
for real.
Yeah. I make contraptions. I put Doritos with soup with beef sticks and wrap it up and it's a burrito. I make all kinds of shit.
Quick.
Yeah.
Quick. Kids fed. Your wife could be like, honey, we need to feed the kids. You're like, they fed already. She's like, but the chip, man, we'll make it do what it do, man. So you can appreciate even working, man. Like sometimes a lot of these guys out here, man, they make excuses. I'm like, dude, I was making $1.41 a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how tough it is. 89 months.
New York State, you get $8 every 2 weeks.
You know what I talk about? And I talk about this all the time. I know some real hardcore gangsters out here. Go to prison. They're cleaning toilets. They're wiping floors, but you're out here. Nobody wants to get a job. It don't make no sense to me. So you go there and you want to be a number in a prison, and you want to clean the floors for somebody else and get $1. So you know it's true what you're saying. You're better off taking a shortcut. Don't go to jail and get a job out here. But you know the end up is you're gonna have a better life.
Yeah.
And really that's the pitch, man. Do something positive.
But do you? I mean, like my thing is this though, right? I do group discussions with young men in Harlem. And that's my target area that I've been targeting the youth. And just to tell them like about pulling their pants up, man. There's certain things about like.
Well, in jail, you know that they call it advertising.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
What are you doing? You advertising for somebody? Pull those fucking pants up. They'll tell you right.
But see, it's a catch-22 though.
Right.
It's a catch-22 with everything. But you don't want to be out there like that if you ain't strong. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's like it's some gangbangers in there that like that might be their swag because they tough out there and they don't care. They don't come in, but it's a beef. So it's like. But it's like character, man. I'm trying to teach the youth character. And it's like a lot of what I had a young man tell me, he's like, how do you expect me to listen to you when everything that seems cool is against what you're saying? And I'm like, that's why I love what y'all doing, because we need more of this. Because they understand that like, man, like life ain't really just kill them up, bang, bang, dude. Like your ass, they gonna catch your ass eventually.
Yeah, but you said something at the beginning that made a lot of sense. The problem is, those same kids you're talking to, because I go to Brownsville, I go to every inner city, and those same kids, they never seen nothing outside that neighborhood. This is why I'm always getting on sports guys, and I'm getting on movie actors, and I'm getting on ball players of whatever type, because they got to be able to show these kids in that neighborhood outside that little fish tank they're looking at, that there's some other world that they can see, that they can go travel to another country, or they can go to the beach in the Bahamas. But they don't have the opportunity like we didn't have the opportunity. So we try to take shortcuts to get that opportunity. So the more hands that are out there helping them like you're doing, like I'm doing, like he's doing, like he's doing, like he's doing, that maybe we can get some of those kids to say, man, there's more than this fishbowl of Harlem or Bushwick or downtown LA or wherever, Detroit. You know, we got to show them there's something outside their neighborhoods that they can live for.
It's interesting. My brother has been... Shout out to my brother Ari. He's been like a big influence in the city of Detroit because like he's trying to incorporate business. The other day, some kids walked up to him and was like, "Are you a rapper?" He's like, "Nah, man, I do stocks and trades, and you know, we have a crab oil spot on Plainview in Detroit." You know, and it's just a thing of like him showing them like, I think that it's just hard, man, for a young black man. Sometimes I don't want to change it to like just a black white thing but just to focus down on it, like it's hard because like a lot of them, man, like the way our society is shaped, I feel like a lot of our problems could be solved, but we as a nation, we only evolve like phones or computers. We don't think about like safety. Like how the heck could Detroit be like, you know, within murder capital for 20 years in a row? Like we can't put cameras up there, man. We can't like, and I feel like our government has to want to see the change and get tired. Because like, yeah, our voices, we can scream, and yeah, maybe one day, like when my time come, I could be something huge and I can start this movement with security. Because I feel like our biggest problem with in poverty and in these inner cities is that there's not a safe sense of feeling. And if we have more cameras out there, like how New York City has, and had cameras on the lights that could see your eyes, the criminals would think differently, at least about what they probably
facial
doing.
recognition. They got that in Vegas. I think they
Yeah,
do
but
have
my
it.
biggest problem I got, and I don't know how often you listen to our show, and I keep saying it, the more we defund police, the more inner city kids get killed.
Yep.
That's who's going to get killed, is inner city kids. So every neighborhood we grew up in, every neighborhood we stayed in, every neighborhood that all our friends are dead in, if they keep defunding, all you're doing is killing those kids. And then the other thing is you're giving them the opportunity of doing exactly what we're saying not to do.
Right.
They're getting strongholds, and they can move more drugs. They're going to bunker down more because they're making money. They don't want to give it up. You can't blame them that they don't want to give it up because, you know, that's their only way out. But then the more they'll be able to run those cities because there's no police, the stronger they're going to get. It's going to be harder to stop it. And then, you know, in the long run, you know, the kids are the ones that suffer. You know, they're the ones who are going to suffer because they're going to lose their life or go to jail, just like we did. And, you know, I want to try to stop them from going to jail. So any of those haters, I keep telling the same thing all the time. If you're a cop, if you're a politician, if you're a ball player, if you're one of the street guys, nobody wants their kids in prison or dead.
Or dead.
That's a one commonality we all have with each other. We don't want our kids like that. So how do we fix it?
And I'd like to talk about what I went to prison for too, because I want.
I was going to ask you. You did a lot of time for
Yeah, I did
young. It
7
must have
years.
been violent.
No,
right?
it wasn't.
No.
Let me tell you what this is the trick within this, right? With me going to prison, my cousin, he took me in. I had nowhere to go. My cousin was like, "Hey, it's my cousin's cousin." He's like, "You can live here." They gang banging, hustling. I'm trying to go to school every morning because I was real good in basketball. And I lived with high school teammates my whole year. I lived with like my whole high school. I always lived with a lady named Rose Hill. She took me in. Her son, he ended up going to Penn State.
Wow.
And my senior year, she's like, "You got to find somewhere to live," because she had to take other family in.
Right.
And I had nowhere to go. My cousins, they went on a little situation, and someone had a BB gun, robbed somebody, and from there, from there, I didn't snitch on the situation, you know what I mean, of the robbery. And it was a serious, I'm not gonna lie, it was serious as far as like the type of robbery it was. I mean, and my thing is this, I believe if you commit a crime, you gotta do the time. You know, you have to pay your debt to society. That's just period, man, in life. You know what I mean? So if something happened at my aunt's house, like I can't like Chris Rock said, you can't call the Crips and say, "Hey Crips, like you know, my grandma having a problem, can y'all get over here?" You know, you're gonna call 911 naturally. You know, and I went away. The problem that I have with the justice system is I never had a record. They hit me with 7 felonies, right? Because I lied and said I didn't know what happened, what was going on, and I didn't have no parents to look into it, so they had me facing 20 years for a month, bro, to scare me.
Yeah.
Scare me. And they tried to get me to cop out to 20 and say you could do life. They like kept playing on it, and I really didn't understand what was going on. And then and I'm like, well, nobody got hit. No one went to the hospital at all. It was over some glasses and stuff. It wasn't like nothing, you know. It wasn't.
Florida's like that too. What you're talking right there. They don't care. Armed robbery's bad.
And they came with 12 years. And I'm in here all alone with like no lawyer or nothing. And I almost signed for 12 years. And I start crying. I'm like, I can't see 12 years from now. I'm 16 in the county. And then they come in and say, all right, look, agree that you'll take 7 years high end of your guidelines. I agreed to take 7 years high end of my guideline. They tricked me into taking the high end. I kept the note. I didn't even know I was tricked until like 5 years into my time. My counselor called me in and said, "Hey man, I was just going over your file and I noticed that you never had any prior convictions or nothing like that. You know, why they didn't give you YIDA, the Youth Program Act, or why they didn't give you 2 years? Like, you know, like what you did, you just knew about a robbery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Attempt robbery, excuse me.
Wow.
And nothing even got taken. Attempt robbery.
Oh my God.
And so, and I'm like, at that time, I'm like, well, I was scared. Like I was, they were trying to give me 12 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? And somebody told me, like, don't they gonna offer you, you know how in the county they tell you, like, don't never take the first one, never take the second one, don't take it, like, tell them even if it's nice, say you don't want it. And so, like, having a 16-year-old kid in this situation with nobody to look into my charges and to have me sign over for 7 felonies willingly and didn't even know that they didn't even fit the felonies didn't even fit my crime of knowing. Like, they hit me with conspiracy. Once I signed off the conspiracy, that just gave me conspiracy.
Who they give you a point?
Yeah. But I didn't have him until I signed it.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know. I saw my lawyer after I signed. After my wow. I didn't even have no lawyer. I never.
That's how they do that. Oh my god,
bro! They railroaded me, man.
Yeah, because they knew you didn't have anybody, and they just see. That's the problem when we talk about the system. Really, you're talking about whoever did that to you, what guys are involved, who sentencing you, because this is the whole thing that we keep talking about: trying to give kids opportunity for life, not taking their life. So there's certain cases, they're bad cases, but like a case like yours, there's no reason why they should do that. They should be turning around and saying, listen, and give you the bottom of the bottom, number one, if they don't really know what happened, but not do this to you, because they're trying to destroy somebody's life. And actually, you took it in a good way and bounced back, but a lot of people won't.
Oh, it's hard, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's real hard. I really feel a lot of times when I'm talking to people, man, I'm out here. I mean, I've been fortunate, man, to sit down and talk to Angela Bassett for 3 or 4 hours. Like, she's great, yeah. I mean, she's an amazing person. Just different celebrities that I've been able to be around and in the midst of, like, and just like people of good character. Period. When I'm always real. I'm like, I did 7 years. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah. Right.
I'm gonna let you know because I want to represent for people like us, for them to know, like, dog, we ain't our time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would never know what somebody went through because, like, it's a lot of people that can't, like, my friends, like, how did you get through coronavirus? How do I get through coronavirus, Corey? Like, I'm not the timekeeper. You gonna masturbate a lot? You gonna motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? You gonna think a lot, watch as much TV, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, what do you do? You know what I mean? And it's like, no one's built to do time like that, man. As a kid, and really, it's really been like a fire. I've been willing to like to die, man, for this game of like comedy and art and the writing that I'm doing and just helping my community, man, because it's like, dude, I'm trying to break a generational curse. Like I'm a walking generation. Like, I found my father last year. You know what I mean?
That's really nice, man.
Yeah, it was cool, but he didn't want to deal with me. It was weird though, but it's okay. But it was, but it made me.
At least you know who he is.
Yeah.
And then from there, you can deal with it later, as you keep going.
How'd you find him?
Ancestry.com.
Really?
It's
real,
cool,
dude.
Wow.
I like real talk. I found
he want to talk to you, want to meet you?
I mean, I had 10 aunts and uncles.
Wow.
And I met with my aunts and uncles, but my dad just like, he was like, he couldn't deal with it. And for me, a lot of my people were like, well, how are you handling this, dude? Like, that's got to be hard. And I'm like, well, honestly, I just wanted to know my last name. I wanted to know, like, who I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like breaking these cycles. And there's kids and there's females out here. And it's just people out here that's going through these things that life brought us and we didn't know. And my biggest thing that I would tell anyone, does anybody have clinics? Is to not focus. Like, life is not about yesterday. No matter what, we can't go back. You cannot do. You may have thought about a question you could have asked old boy yesterday, but you can't go into that.
Yeah.
Life is not about tomorrow. You plan for tomorrow. Life is about today, man.
Yeah, you know what? You got to do just what you're saying, and I think you do this actually, without maybe you don't even realize you do it. You're taking all your negative stuff and you keep turning it into something positive. Just even the way you talk. You see, your father was a good thing, even though. So you're taking it, and I agree with that because that negative shit ain't gonna do you no good anyway.
I had no control of it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna do you no good.
I had no, like, bro, when I tell people, like, plan hard. Like, remember the people that went to Vegas and that dude shot from the building and killed all them? They have plans of tomorrow.
Right. Mm.
So if life isn't about yesterday, if it's not about tomorrow, and that's why the Egyptians accomplished so much, and we're like, how did they do this? Because they were actually wrote. They planned their tomorrow. That's having a planner, being organized. You know what I mean? Life is about today. Your 24 hours today, man. You know what I mean? And so, like, just maximizing my days. And that's really what I've been, bro. And being willing to, like, come up to people and ask them questions. Like, I love to ask questions. I love to say, hey, I don't know how. And it allowed me to become, because a lot of my friends, I'm like, you went to school for this, but you're not even using what you went to school for what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so really, I just need to just be myself, be Corey Sherrill.
Hey, Corey, I have a question for you.
For sure.
How did you, going away at 16 for something so marginal, how did you keep a straight mind and not get down about life and, come out and look at all the great things you're doing today? I mean, how does... because unfortunately a lot of kids do go away and then maybe they come out and they crumble and, or they just get broken in jail. How did you keep a straight mind?
Honestly, it was really like the OGs in there, man. Like, the OGs in there, man, the guys that wasn't coming home, the lifers. They
look at me.
They used to,
right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
They say, look at me.
Look at me, man. They'd be like, you can smile. Let's play some chess. Let's play some pinochle. I know how to play every card game there is.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
just like reading a lot, man. I read a lot of books, and books that apply to just character, not just like, like, I love my race. I love being black, but I feel like if I just learn about being black, it's not gonna allow me to relate to other people. So just learning about men and women and socializing and just being a social person. So the businessman is what I studied. I studied the businessman, the entrepreneur, just body language books, and it really helped me. And that's all you could have in there, man. You had nothing else. Like, I had a black and white. I remember when they came out with black and white TVs in like 2005. I mean, no, not black. I mean, color TVs in 2000. Yeah, they came out like in 2005, bro. Like, we was watching black and white in there, man. Yeah. So it's like, you make peace out of, like, when you have nothing, you realize this is what the fuck this is. It's kind of like you cling on to the good energy around there,
What did you think life was going to be like when you got out?
I was scared because I had nobody when I was younger. So I knew I was in denial. Like, I can't say that, I had an aunt step up and she got me a car. And she allowed me to live with her, but no one really, and it's interesting when you place the responsibility of a man that didn't have a parenting on family members. It's kind of like, it's weird. It's because someone has to want that responsibility.
Right, of course.
Like you can't just be like, oh, well, you got to be accountable because it's your blood, because that ain't how life roll. Like, if that was that easy then shit, we would have a lot of problems out here solved. So it was really like, it was difficult because I was a grown-ass man. 24/7 felonies, 2 years on probation. I never violated either. Never violated, never had no problem, because I didn't want to go in there. It was tough. It was a tough adjustment. I started back hustling. I hustled. I didn't know. Nobody would hire me. Like, to this day, I've only had one job. Nobody has never been willing to hire me. They always say I'm overqualified, or, when people ask me about college, it's an interesting conversation. When people are like, oh, what college? They're talking to me, and they're like, oh, where did you go to school at? And it's like, what do you say?
I didn't even go to school.
Then they be like, oh, you didn't go? Oh, what about grade school? What about high school? Where did you graduate?
Right.
No, this is like, they're genuinely just like.
But you actually did go to school in
I went
a
to
different
school.
way.
I went to school in a different way though, but it's hard.
But you educated yourself.
Absolutely.
From jail, from the street. One of the best educations I ever seen with anybody is street and jail, because you read like crazy in jail. People don't realize, most guys, they want to get rid, because you got to spend time. How do you spend time? It's really educating yourself, reading a lot. I think that, when guys come home, you're busy. And there's no way you're reading the way you were reading while you were in jail.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, nobody does, because we're all over the place.
Yeah.
You're busy.
But I say this.
You're pretty educated, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you... So it's like you had a college degree if somebody doesn't know you.
Yeah, and that's what I go through. Yeah. But I say this, though, like, to all the guys that be like, well, Corey B, I'm 6'4". They're like, he gonna take my girl. I'm like, bro, just don't let me write a letter to her. I can write a hell of a letter.
Bro, I had friends at the time, they came home.
All right, wait for me in the car.
Corey, you got guys that do time, right? They read books, they come home, they know every bone in the body, the name of it. I'm looking at my friend in 10 years, he's telling me you're naming things. I'm like, he's talking Chinese to me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He read the whole medical book.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know anything he's talking about. Bone, structure, this, that. So you're right, you do learn a lot in there, but you also learn how to survive.
That's it. Man, it's like you never have enough in there.
You learn how to survive.
You don't understand. You never have enough.
Rikers Island, you know how it is.
Never. Did you play cards in there? Did y'all play poker?
Yeah, but you
listen. Well, you weren't like an owl. You wasn't like me. I was in there losing. I came on the yard, bro. First day there, man, they didn't even have my property yet. I'm down 300 on the yard. All I was like, call. They used to call me call.
You play spades? You play spades?
No, I actually was playing like this mixed poker.
Okay.
We was playing like dookie, high-low.
Yeah, but I hate those made-up pokers. 6 aces, you know, I hate that.
I fed a lot of guys in there.
I got burnt out on cards quick, yeah.
For real, I did not have a winning career in there. So that's probably what they like. You know, if you gonna keep a young guy on the yard, man, he's real ambitious, man. And,
He likes to gamble too, so when they opened the door, he wanted to stay. You got a whole jail full of gamblers. He goes, I ain't leaving here.
Yeah, I know, right? You better start some cards. If somebody puts some cards out, there might be a problem, man.
Hey, we're just gonna take a quick break to talk about a sponsor for the show in Manscaped. Are you familiar with this company?
For sure.
All right, well, hold up. Just give me a second, so we're gonna ask you your favorite manscaping story. I'll let you think about it for a second. The Johnny and Gene Show is brought to you by Manscaped. 2020 has been the year of things happening that are completely out of your control, but there is one thing that you can control, and that is shaving your bush, Corey.
Yeah.
Our sponsors at Manscaped are here to remind you to do so, and they have provided us with the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. It's a premium electric trimmer that's designed to give you confidence boost through body image. Their ceramic blade and skin-safe technology are designed to reduce nicks or snags on everything down below. The Lawnmower 3.0 is also waterproof and comes with an LED light so you can manscape in the shower, in the dark, or in a dark shower, whatever floats your boat. Go to manscaped.com today, and when you use promo code JG, you'll receive 20% off and free shipping. Again, go to manscaped.com, use that promo code JG, 20% off and free shipping. Corey, any favorite manscaping stories?
Oh, it gotta go. It gotta go. It gotta go. And I'm glad that the ladies, so all the ladies out here don't think that men, we come together and we talk about our issues. You know, you think you guys are the only ones that have issues once a month? We have to manscape once a month. Y'all didn't know that. Y'all found that out today. Today. That's a secret of ours, man.
And also, I mean, a different kind of bush that you keep it nice and trim.
Well, you know, it
looks clean.
The beard, man. I definitely use the Andes, but I heard about Manscaped, man. It's been all over online on my Instagram, like. It's like it's real
you gotta
good
try
for your
it.
skin.
Yeah.
They're like, this the best. You can't even feel like it's sharp, but it's like the best. So I mean, I have to upgrade, bro. I gotta upgrade.
You gotta upgrade.
I gotta upgrade, man. That's why you look. That's why you got the baby face.
Yeah.
I know why you got the baby face.
I gotta keep it shape. I gotta keep it shape because it goes gray now. So.
Now, Corey, for you, you know, now that you've been out, is there something? Well, actually, a different kind of route. For the kids that are at risk, right? That don't really know how to get away from that crime life, or how to get off the street, or how to, you know, think that they're more than nothing. Do you have a piece of advice that you'd give them that you'd have maybe given a 16-year-old, 15-year-old Corey?
Well, what I would tell my younger self is and this is the key, man. This is real key. This game for y'all. Do not be around people who behavior, man, is not what you want. Like okay behavior, like being around guys with guns and they ain't got no license. Like you gotta really you gotta like just not want no parts of it. Like that little small voice that's in your head or that's in your heart when your heart racing and you like, man, you gotta listen to that first gut feeling. Like all of us had that feeling when something's about to happen. I had a feeling before I called my case, like I should just catch a bus. You know what I'm saying? When I saw everybody having these fake guns, I'm like, you know what? I should catch the bus right now. But I borrow it because I let their will be greater than mine. Let your will be your will, man. Go out here and fight. Reach out to and you know, I reached out to my principal and stuff, man, when I was homeless. And they were like in the midst of trying to help me when I called my case. Like, reach out to people that's of authority. Don't feel like your story, like someone can't relate to you. You know what I mean? Even if you guys, like if it's a young man or a young lady, you know, if I have a program through Grill World. I do puppet shows for kids to help promote literacy and a lot of things through Grill World. I do that in Harlem. Like, even if you DM me, like just put the energy out here. Life has been energy for me. I really can't tell a person like a perfect toolkit to like not get in trouble. You know what I mean? Because like your trouble could be your home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your trouble could be like I had a girl on my stream the other day. She was talking about like, we were talking and she was like, well, you're like my only guy friend, a streamer. And she's a part of the LGBTQ community. And she was like, straight guys she just don't relate to. And I said, I know why. And she assumed I didn't. And I said, hurt. When you block someone like people that are racist or that are prejudiced, it's hurt that's making you lash this out. And then I further learned that her father was that enemy in her life. And that's why so I want to say, like, if you have an enemy in life, like, reach out to, go to your local precinct, go to your local library. You know what I mean? Go to these people that y'all see every day at the store and say, man, like, hey, I need help. Like, when I was younger, I carried 25 cents. I asked somebody, can I carry their groceries to the car? I was doing, like, I was hustling in, like, young. Yeah. Like, I was that kid out there hustling with the jitneys and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like, reach out to someone for help. And I feel like I wish I would have did more of doing that, because there's always help there. No one's helpless. Reach out to authorities, guys. Even the firefighters. You can walk into a firefighter and just say, hey, man, I'm at my house, my mom, I don't feel safe at home and I just need some help. I reach out to somebody like that, man, and I believe that's the only toolkit to really doing it.
Right.
If you're that young.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
What about you? What you think, bro?
I just think that I always say the same thing, man. Everybody's got to let go of the negative thing to move forward. If you hold hate, if you hold prejudice, if you hold all those things, only hurt yourself. You got to let it go and get past it, because none of us have good lives, right? Nobody has that perfect life.
Nobody.
Even the rich dudes that really grow up rich, I keep saying the same thing. Their mother and father ain't around. They're dropping off at some private school and they're away for the summer and they ain't got no family. In different ways, everybody thinks, oh man, they're rich, they must have everything, because money ain't just about everything. So I just think that the only way you're going to be positive with your life is take your life and say, okay, this is what it is, and push past it. Because if you don't push past it and you keep negative shit, it's only going to compile on you. And then that negative shit's going to make you feel the way, I'm relating it to me now. When I looked in the mirror, I used to say, man, if somebody disrespects me, I'm going to hurt him. I'm going to do this to him. I'm going to do that to him. But then after a while, you got to say, man, every time I hurt somebody, I'm just hurting myself. I keep going back to prison. So I got to change that somehow. So you got to start saying, hey, I like myself. I want a different life. And then you'll get that different life if you want that different life. Like you wanted what you want right now.
Yeah,
that's how you got it. You didn't get it because that energy is positive and it's going to the direction you want. Well, if you take that energy in a negative way, you ain't going to go nowhere but negative. So it's kind of what you're saying. When you're near somebody that's negative, stay away from them, man. Just, it's bad. You feel it. Take your first instinct and get away and go with positive people.
Because as a bad guy, like, even when I was in my ways and stuff, I respected the guy that, like, didn't want to be around.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of times people feel like we gonna, like...
Listen, I had friends of mine that told me, says, Gene, get away from that. You know what I mean? I had so many friends of mine, I didn't listen to them. I had people telling me, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. You're going to end up in jail or dead. They're watching you. No, they don't want nothing to do with me. Yeah, okay, I have my own task force on me. That's what I'm saying. If I would have listened to people, you didn't really have that opportunity. I really like your story, man. You came from the bottom, and you tried your hardest to get out of it, and you did, man. I got a lot of respect for you, man.
I was just homeless 9 months ago, bro. Like, I literally living out of Manhattan storage. I was on set. I was on set of the last OG, right? Next to Tracy Morgan, Tiffany Haddish, Method Man, Talib Kweli, joking with everybody, and I'm thinking, like, damn, when set over, where the fuck am I about to go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, it was like I wasn't signed yet. I've only been signed 11 months. So, like, my dream was like...
Almost there, right?
It was like, I'm almost there. Out here, dude, like, I made it out here with literally with a $200 credit card.
Well,
like,
Tiffany Haddish lived in the car. She had the
man,
same story,
I know.
Right?
I was looking at her ass like, who did you talk to? I wanted to tell her, like, hey, who the fuck you talking to?
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, we got to go through these things to become, like, and there's no blazing, like the silver fox. I call guys that keep themselves together, handsome brothers like yourself. Like you, I'd rather be a silver fox than a bald eagle. Yeah, he got a lot of wisdom, man. Yeah. So like you got to go through stages, and it's like I just stay humble, man. But a lot of times, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I almost wanted to crack, bro. So many times I wanted to just say, fuck this, I'm going back to the streets. Like, man, I'm about to be like Big Meech. Like, I was just like, I'm tired. Like, no, seriously, like, it was like, man, when then so many hot women wanted to go out with me, and I could never go out with them because I had nowhere to take them. Because I was like sleeping on comedians' couches. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had like professional artists that was like, I had like 5 friends that I bounced off of that like allowed me to sleep on their couch, when I didn't have nobody here to help me. And so like, for me, man, I just want, if anybody catch one thing that I'm saying, I know I'm bouncing, because this is very exciting to be with some legendary people like this, man, is is just to fight. Fight for your life. Fight for what you want. Fight for your dreams. Like, love yourself, man. Wake up in the morning, love yourself. You know what I mean? Take care of all the things that you need to let people know you're serious. Take care of your hygiene, your teeth, fellas. Put, even if you wear your best outfit, man. I used to wear my only suit, dude, everywhere I went on Fridays when I got paid from being a messenger here. 'Cause that's what I did. I had a messenger job here. You know, I would wear my only suit. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna wear it. People see me wear it. I go like, and I never got caught up because you can wear a suit in Brooklyn, the same suit in Harlem. I wear the same suit in the Bronx. Like, you can, I mean, you can. One
Can't do that no
last
more because now you're on TV.
I know, right? I can't do it no more.
For at least two.
Yeah, 2 times. I can do 2. Hey, thanks for giving me that, man. If he said it, now if y'all see me in the same outfit twice, right? Blame this man right here, all right?
I got this.
He got it. I'm official right here. I can do it twice. I'm wearing this tomorrow, y'all. I'm wearing it. You like the show, you gonna see it tomorrow, man.
Oh man,
yeah. Thanks for having me, man. Y'all dope, bro.
Yeah. Really like you said.
Man, you have a great
you know, we
story,
come
man.
from different things. People, you really didn't have anybody to turn
man.
to.
Wow, that's rough,
so
man.
it's an amazing story. It really is, and it gives people, anybody that says and complains, they got to look at you and say, man, he can do it, I can do it. And that's really that's your thing.
Not being afraid.
Yeah.
My boy Vano in Detroit. I saw you at a clothing store. I talked to him about business. Like, I always was like, I never was afraid to ask another man, like, hey, bro, like, where did you get that shirt? I think a lot of times people be afraid to ask a man a question. And, like, when you see a real man, he gonna stop and be like, oh, what's up, homie? And he used to kick it. They used to, like, the homies back home used to just kick it with me.
Yeah, but
and be
what
like,
else? We can't say that because we used to rob a lot, so they start taking it off.
Where'd you get that watch? I'm like, listen, man, I don't know. What do you mean about that watch? I don't know. It ain't yours, right?
I told her that Croce.
Yeah, don't walk up to him.
When the guy came home, I said, hey, man, where'd you get that watch? And he took it. I go, let me see it. And I was it. I didn't give it back.
Man.
Sorry, Keith, man. I give it back when I see it.
Hey, Corey, thank you.
man,
I mean,
thanks.
even for me, you know, it's...
Hey, 1 second before we
for
go. We were talking about some good comedians. Who's your top man? Who's your top play?
top 3.
Top three of all time.
Hey,
Okay, I'm about to give it to y'all right now.
You're rocking
I'm about
Pryor.
to give it to you right now. Richard Pryor.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Chris Rock.
All right.
And then I'm gonna throw a ringer in there, George Carlin.
Really? Chris Rock, I saw him at the Stress Factory.
I would love to
You
work
got to
with
do
Chris.
that, man.
Yeah.
The Stress Factory.
Eddie Murphy, Delirious and Raw.
I mean, I love it.
Favorites.
I love
Hey,
it.
what about Dave Chappelle? Come on, he's...
Dave is a god, man.
He's
We
a
don't
guy.
even-
Yeah,
Dave is a
he's another
Hey,
level.
when you mention Dave, like,
Nah,
I love
he's-
Dave, man.
All right, I'll tell
You
you.
ever met him?
Who's yours?
No,
Wait.
I met some of his staff though.
He's great. He's crazy. He says anything. That's what I love about
Hey,
him. He
I'm
don't
old
give a
school,
shit.
so it's Epps. It's
Eddie Murphy has to be in there. Come on.
No,
Guys
no,
don't
no,
like Eddie
no,
Murphy's
no.
the best.
You know, I like Cat Williams, Epps, and I'd have to say I really like, Kevin Hart now. So I got to say those three, really.
Yeah, Kevin the Beast.
yeah.
I appreciate all of them, but like the OGs is really like the
Yeah,
ones
well, I
that
grew up
really-
in the era with, with
Yeah.
Cats and Epps, so, those guys are real
Yeah,
good with me.
yeah.
I mean, listen, I like Eddie Murphy, but Pryor was great, too, as a kid.
Yeah, he set the standard for a lot of us, man.
yeah.
You could go to, because one thing I could say, like, for any young comics, like for me, I don't watch comics that's out now. I'm sorry. Like when my boys would call me, hey man, you heard what Dave Chappelle said? I'm like, bro, I could tell you about what he said. He probably talked about the brother that, George Floyd, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to his family and to anybody that was affected by that all around, you know what I mean? And I knew, I had an idea what he was gonna talk about. As comedians, it's our responsibility to, talk the world, talk what's current. And so for me, I listen to the guys like, I even listen to Bill Cosby. Like he was like a great storyteller, man.
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
comedy, what I'm talking about, y'all. Like great.
You guys
story-
are young, man. I was around when he was doing all those weekly series.
Remember the cake,
So,
the
man,
cake
yeah, he used to do
story,
Jell-O,
chocolate cake,
yeah,
the chocolate cake story. That was a classic.
Yeah, he was a classic storyteller.
Yeah, he was classic,
Yeah,
and so those guys really helped allow me to make my story come out. I try not to watch Dave though and all these guys because they're out right now, and I don't want to say something Dave say, or I don't want to I'll check it out like maybe 2 months afterward, but I'll watch everything that Chris does because that's my palette. He's my palette, so I know when I watch him, it's not like I'm gonna feel like I'm watching myself in a sense because he says a lot of shit that I would want to say. And so that's the person, but I don't want to grab too many
You know
people.
who's one of my favorites though? Chris Tucker.
Oh man, he's a classic.
You gotta watch. He's
I didn't
hysterical.
say Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker,
Yeah,
Eddie
yeah.
Murphy, and Dave Chappelle
Chris
was my
Tucker,
guy.
I
I
got
see
it.
You know what I'm
Bernie
saying?
Mac though, like
I like Bernie
too.
Mac.
I like Cedric the Entertainer too. There's a bunch of them, but I mean, I had a few of them.
Bernie
But Eddie
passed away
Murphy's
a
my
couple years
favorite.
back.
Yeah.
You watch him when he has the red suit on in Delirious, or I think it's Delirious. I can't stop crying, laughing the whole thing when he makes fun of. He's just great. To me, Eddie Murphy's the best.
So when the clubs open up, y'all going? I'm gonna have tickets for everybody here.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah.
You got to do that stress factor. We got to stay in touch. Man.
I'm
Stress
not.
Factor,
We in it. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in it. Like whatever. Like, and my thing is like I tell jokes at churches. It's an actors church that I go to in Harlem, and I tell jokes there. Like if they ask me to come, man, I don't have to curse, dude. Like life is so funny that you don't have to say F-bombs and all this stuff just to get your point across. So like if you need me to show up, I'm gonna show out.
All right.
That's it.
Cool.
You know, you got a lady, so I'm gonna leave with some ladies, but I'm gonna hold you accountable though. I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'm one of them. I ain't gonna be calling her sis, and then I'm out with you doing some bad stuff. For real. I'm gonna be like, you know, shit. I'm gonna hit her the call. I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna have to call. I'm like, sis, can you buy me out? She's like, why? I'm like, shit, I just have to jump on some girl. I'm like, you with my sis thing right here. For real. Like, no, that's how I am though, man. I'm loyal now. Yeah. All right. I'm here anytime y'all need me.
I'm glad you got a headphone though. She ain't hearing nothing.
She'll catch it later. She's like, that's right, I like that guy.
Yeah. She'll watch it later.
Yeah,
Where can people follow you and see all your work and follow you on social medias?
All right, my name on social media is _ Corey, COREYBE. _ Corey B. _ Corey B. You can catch me at Broadway Comedy Club on 51st Street, but _ Corey B on Instagram. You put in Corey B on Google. My name, COREYBE, one word. Put that in, you will find anything I'm doing. I make sure that I'm on there every day. I got 24 hours. Maximize your 24 hours.
Hey.
My Google search current.
I'll speak for myself. You're an inspiration, and just the fact that you can have a smile on your face and this energy and everything that you do is unbelievable. So I hope, nothing but the best. I know everything that we can do for you, and, we'll support you, and thank you for...
Well, since you said something, can I hold $20? I'm joking. Man.
You can find...
no, it's just $20. If I can't hold $20, you as petty as me asking. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, somebody, somebody got to give now. Like seriously, I made the commitment. That's like dating, man. It's like dancing. You got to commit to, like once I start committing to the dance move, I realize I can dance. Like, no, seriously. I already know you're a dancer. He's probably, the shirts you wear, man, I know you dance.
I used to follow John Travolta.
I know. I'm already here. This Mr. Steal Your Girl original. This the original Mr. Steal Your Girl. Whoop your ass and steal your girl. Ain't that something? He the guy that you walk up to like, you with him? And then you gonna wake up in the hospital like, I don't know why daddy did that.
Might have been worse than they asked for, too.
You see his hands, man. I see the spider hands right there, man.
I gave up the boxing.
Yeah, I know you gotta roll them back though, man. You gotta roll back, man.
There we go.
I already see you.
So you can find me at following him and getting all his fans. JohnAlite.com or John Alite officially on Instagram.
Same here. GeneBoy666. That's my Instagram name, which everyone keeps asking me why it is, but that's what it is. All right.
And for me, at Felix.Levine, and I think that's it. Boy, go ahead. You have some else to plug.
AliteSports.com. Get your winning bet and follow us up. You'll be a winner this year.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Corey.
Thank you, man. Make sure y'all check out Crazy and Crab Boil on 6 Mile of Plainview, man. For real. Check us out, y'all. Black on. Thank you so much, man.
So, man.
Take it.